have another client, white woman. She was raised in a racist home. She's in her 40s now. Her father was a part of the KKK. This man hated black people. Okay? And he tried really hard to push it on her and her sister and her brother. Alright? He eventually ended up, he was in a house fire.
On the beats.
Final day of school, of this school year. A lot of graduations going on in my city. And for elementary school, high school, and middle, it's the final day of school, and it's a half day. I know that he's happy that he's getting out of school early. We have so many things planned for him and my other two boys this summer. You know, I try to make it a priority to make summer vacation a memorable one. We're going on a family vacation at the end of next month, which I can't wait for because I am just flat out beat from work. You know, the assembly line can take its toll on you, and you have to learn to break off. My last vacation was in January, so I guess you could say it's overdue. It's almost been 6 months, so I can't wait. But the topic of the day is not fitness related, as you see in the title. It's something that is a big problem in America. It's a big problem in America. It's probably a problem all over the world, to be honest, but I'm gonna stick to America because this is where I was born. I'll put emphasis on that a lot today too. Seems like a lot of people, select group of people, have a problem with the color of other people's skin. I'm not picking on white people. I can't, because I am biracial. My mother's side, we have white people in our family. My ancestors come from Germany, actually. I have Caucasian people in my family, white people, same thing. We have Native American blood in our family as well, and African American, or a Negro, if you will, okay? Because a lot of people of color in America who are black do not like to identify as black. They like to identify as either Negro or melanin. Black is a crayon, okay? It's a color, it's a crayon. A lot of people who are labeled black don't look like that crayon. You know what I'm saying? You know, they come in all different type of shades. So I don't know where the term black came from. And forgive me for saying white. I'll say Caucasian or European, if you will. Whatever you're comfortable with. But this isn't a video to you know, talk about the history of and the origins of where different ethnicity labels came from. I don't want to make this channel that type of channel, but if I feel like talking about it one day, maybe I will, okay? But this video is about racism, okay? Racism is something that a lot of people thought died out, but never did. To this day, the racist mentality is still around. And it's incredible that it's still around, because today, in this day and age, there are so many people who are biracial that it's not even funny. I wish I could find statistics, but everywhere I go in public, I see it more and more, to the point that I have to say that it's common to see a black man with a white woman, or a white woman with a black man, an Asian woman with a black man, or a Asian man with a white woman. You know, I'm sorry. See, it's a habit to say white and black. Caucasian with an Asian, or Negro or melanin person with an Asian. It's, you know, it's common these days to see it. It's not a problem. I, for one, believe that it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to see that, because that's the way that God intended it to be. Okay? We are one race, and that's the human race. You know, the color of your skin does not determine anything. We just have different textures of skin, different grades of hair, different color eyes. I think if everybody looked alike, where would uniqueness come in? Where? I don't, you know, so I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we have different skin colors and different textures. I mean, it makes, diversity is beautiful. But you got some people who disagree with that. You have some people who are hell-bent on pushing an agenda as far as, well, this group is more superior than that group, and that group is more superior than that group. Why? Under what evidence? Where's your proof that there is a superior group? I haven't seen it. I don't know where you went to school or who taught you that there is a superior race. But to my knowledge, that type of information has never seen the light of day since the beginning of time. There is no race or no group of people or ethnicity over the next. Okay, I've seen smart people and stupid people of all races, shapes, colors. There are very intelligent African American people. There are very intelligent Caucasian people, very intelligent Asian people, very intelligent Arab people, Indian people. They're intelligent people all around the world. Just like there are ignorant people in every culture as well. You know, you just can't say, oh, this group of people is more superior just because you say so, or just because you were taught that. Okay, I strongly believe that racism is probably the stupidest thing you could partake in, and let me tell you why. Number one, I just stated that I'm biracial. Okay, my family, there is a freaking rainbow. If you saw my entire family, okay, there's just an extreme amount of diversity there. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because nobody is original. If you see somebody walking down the street who may appear to be Caucasian, but you don't know where their bloodline lies. You don't know if their great-great-great-great-grandmother may have been Asian, or their great-great-great-grandfather may have been African American. You don't know that. They don't know that unless you do some sort of a lineage, ancestry, research, statistic to tell you where your lineage comes from. You don't know that. It's stupid to assume that you are pure white or pure black. The same thing goes for black people as well. You may not be 100% black. You don't know where your lineage goes either. So for you to be a racist, you're pretty much taking a chance at, you know, trashing yourself. Because if you're black and you don't like white people, and your great-great-great-grandmother was white, what does that say about you? Do you not like yourself? How could you be a racist? Because you don't know what's down the line. So the best solution is to not be a racist at all. Stop judging people on account of how they look, or how they talk, or how their hair is designed, or the way that they speak, or the color of their eyes. Let's stop judging on the outward appearance. If you really want to judge somebody, judge them by their character, about how they treat other people, about how they treat you. Okay, if you really want to take that route of judging people, but because to judge somebody on account of how they look is just plain stupid. Okay, and I'm sick and tired of people treating people like trash. I had a conversation with my client yesterday, and he was telling me that his brother-in-law had a horrible experience the other day. That his brother-in-law, he's black, man, his brother-in-law was driving, and he was at a red light, and a truck behind him bumped him. Okay, and he didn't think anything of it. He was like, it was like a tap. Bumped him again. So then his brother-in-law looks into the rearview mirror, and he sees it's an older white gentleman. He's thinking maybe he's having a heart attack or a seizure or something. Let me get out of my car and let me check on this man, okay? So he put his car in park, hopped out to see if the man was okay. The guy backed up his truck and tried to run him over in the street just because he was a black man. Of course, his brother-in-law jumped out of the way before he could hit him, but the man was arrested. And he did this because he was black, African American. He didn't know him. He didn't know him from Adam. Never seen him a day in his life, but he tried to run him over because of the color of his skin. There are people in this world who still think that way. I have another client, white woman. She was raised in a racist home. She's in her 40s now. Her father was a part of the KKK. This man hated black people. Okay? And he tried really hard to push it on her and her sister and her brother. Alright? He eventually ended up, he was in a house fire. And he was burned to death pretty much. And before he died, you know what? A black man dragged him out of the house. So before he died, he at least had he was alive enough to see that it was a man that he hated as far as his skin who saved him from the house fire. At least he still ended up dying from his injuries, but it was the idea of somebody attempting to rescue this man who was of the same color skin that he hated. That man's kids ended up, not being racist. In fact, my client is attracted to black men. So I'm like, I don't know why people would choose to hate somebody because of this color of their skin. And I'm not picking on white people, okay? Because I know some black people too, African American, whatever you feel comfortable with identifying with. Say whatever. None of it offends me. I don't care. As long as you don't call me that N-I-G-G-E-R word, we don't have a problem. But if I ever hear that word come out of the mouth of anybody in my face, we're going to have a serious problem, regardless of what color you are, okay? But I know some black people who feel the same exact way about white people, who say all type of horrible things about white people, who try to say, oh, they're all racist, oh, they're rednecks, oh, they turn red when you touch them, and they just have all these horrible things to say, thinking that it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay for you to say that, okay? It's freaking racist, okay? There is no justification, okay? There's no justification for ignorance. You just, no matter what color you are. I see people do the same thing about Asian people. They make fun of Asian people because of the way that they talk or the way that their eyes are designed. Why? Why are we so focused on the way people look? Why are we not focused on character? I made a comment the other day on one of my, subscribers channels, and I'm subscribed to him as well, Reppin' Christ Fitness. Shout out to you, bro. Love what you do, man. Keep doing what you do for the glory of God. But he made a video, and it was a segment in the video that stated, I'm tired of niggas. That's what he said, okay? And for your information, I haven't said that word in about 7 years, 6 or 7 years. I don't say that word, and you probably will never, ever hear me say that word again. Now, to the black culture, they think that word is a little bit different than saying Nigger, which is a horrible word, but Nigga is just as bad, okay? You'll never hear me say it. But he said that he was tired of them because of the way that they treat him. And I feel the same exact way, because growing up as a child, not being dark enough, I clawed so much flack coming up from kids who may have been darker than me, okay? Who said all type of things to me coming up. I've heard it all. I've heard it all, okay? And I stated to him that, you know, in my experience as a child, teenager, and my young adulthood, white people have treated me a lot better than black people have growing up. And I will never go back on that, because it's the God honest truth. I'll never take it back, because the experiences that I've had, it's the truth. Everyone who has ever helped me come a step above wherever I am was somebody that was white. And everybody who has ever kicked me when I was down, or talked down on me, or wanted to see me fail, just so happened to be black. Okay? Why is it like that? I don't know. But that's just the way it is. This is another reason I could never be prejudiced. Okay, I could never be prejudiced. I've had friends who were white. I've had friends who were Asian. I've had friends of all different races. There's no need for me to be racist. Okay? I mean, I know people who feel the same way in the dating aspect. They won't date anybody who is not their race because of racism. They feel like they won't be accepted. And I think that's stupid too. Racism is alive and well. And I can honestly say that in my life, I have not experienced racism a lot. Very little segments in my life have I experienced racism. I have, but for the majority of my life, I've never had to put up with it. Never. And I honestly believe that it's all about how you carry yourself as a person. How you treat other people. Okay? The things that you do in your community. You know, if you're providing for others, you know, whether it be information, education, whatever the case may be, I think that goes so much further than a person's skin color. Who cares what your ethnicity is? Okay? I mean, here's another example. I was working, and I went outside of the gym, and this woman pulled up. We have a barbershop next to the studio. And she asked me, hey, does that barbershop cut black hair? And I'm like, well, yeah. And I was trying to explain to her that, you know, that there were some black guys who go to this barbershop. So she said, well, is the barber black? I was like, no, he's white. And she gave me this look like, okay. I'm like, and I said, I just told you that this guy can cut, you know, African-American hair. What's the problem? He's white. He can do it. So what problem do you have? So you mean to tell me you don't want anyone cutting your son's hair if he's not black? Even if he did a good job, so you don't want to give him a chance because he's white? Isn't that a form of racism? Or do you think that this guy doesn't legitimately have the ability to cut somebody's hair as black? Not all barbers who are white, you know, study the hair of African Americans. Not all, but there are some who do, and he does. Okay, and he does a pretty good job from what I see. If I had hair, maybe I would let him cut mine. But that's not the case. But yeah, racism is just alive and well. And this video is almost 20 minutes. And basically this is me ranting. I'm sorry. Like I said, it has nothing to do with fitness. And I just felt like I needed to get on camera and speak. So, in closing, here is what I want to say to anybody who is racist, okay? You are ignorant, small-minded, closed-minded. You live in the bubble, and you need to accept things the way that they are. Do not tell anybody to go back to a country. If you do not tell a black man or woman to go back to Africa, don't you dare open your mouth and say such ignorance. Do not tell an Asian person to go back to Asia. Do not tell a Hispanic person to go back to Mexico. Don't do that. Because you know what? Who was here before any of us? Do we have to have that conversation? I think not. Because we're not ignorant to the fact of who was here in this country first. Alright? Don't do that. That's the stupidest thing you can tell somebody, is to go back to where you came from. Where did you come from? If you're black, where did you come from? If you're white, where did you come from? If you're Asian, where did you come from? Don't tell anybody to go back to anywhere. Because if you were born in America, this is where you belong. You're not going anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. Okay? Be sure to like this video. I'm about to pick my son up. I don't want him to see me heated. And, you know, I want him to enjoy his day. I'm looking right at him. Subscribe to my video, guys, girls. Y'all have a blessed day. Don't be racist. Love everybody, regardless of skin color. Don't judge on skin color. Judge on character. Okay? How people treat you and how they treat others. Because the fact is, you know, diversity is beautiful. It's love. Have a blessed day.